Have you ever answered the question, "What are you doing for your birthday?" with something like, "Nothing special, just another day," and saw confusion in response, as if something is wrong with you, as if you're supposed to want cake, candles, a noisy party, and a flood of messages? But what if nothing is wrong with you? What if your calm attitude toward this date isn't a sign of coldness or hidden pain, but simply a feature of your inner world that most people don't understand? Subscribe and let's explore. First, for many people, a birthday isn't a celebration, it's a test. In childhood, this day was filled with anticipation. You waited to be noticed, for the important people to gather, to be the center of attention. But reality sometimes turned out differently. Someone forgot, someone didn't show up, someone acted as if it were just another date. Year after year, your brain taught you one important thing: expecting hurts. Hoping is risky, so you stopped waiting, stopped preparing, stopped feeling this day. Psychologists call this a defense mechanism. It's not weakness, it's a way to protect yourself. When you say, "It's just another day," behind those words there may be not indifference, but a quiet care for your own heart. Second, there are those who simply outgrew noisy celebrations, but not joy itself. Sometimes you're not hiding pain, you simply don't need fanfares to feel alive. You've discovered that happiness doesn't come on schedule. It doesn't have to appear exactly on the day you turn another number. You've learned to find joy in ordinary mornings, in quiet evenings, in things nobody notices. This isn't loss of feeling, it's evolution. You just stop needing one day a year to validate your worth. It's maturity often mistaken for indifference. Third, there are those who live such a full life that the calendar loses its power. You don't forget your birthday, you just don't single it out. You have projects, plans, people who matter, and one day doesn't become the main event because you already feel alive every day. This isn't self-negation, it's a different frame of reference. Your attention is evenly distributed, and the celebration lies not in a date, but in what you do each day. This may confuse others, but for you it's natural. Fourth, behind a calm attitude there may be an unwillingness to be the center of attention. For some people, even positive attention is stressful, not because they dislike people, but because their nervous system is wired such that being on display is overwhelming. They prefer silence over loud toasts, sincerity over formulaic congratulations, depth over quantity. If you're one of them, skipping the noisy celebration isn't avoidance, it's self-care. You're not against being congratulated, but you don't need a stage to feel loved. Fifth, sometimes the reason is much simpler. You simply don't attach meaning to it, and that's fine. Culture tells us a birthday is obligatory, but your personal culture can be different. You may not see the point in a ritual that carries no emotional weight for you. You may not want to spend energy organizing something that doesn't resonate. That's not selfishness, it's honesty with yourself. But there's one important nuance. Sometimes behind the phrase, "It's just another day," lies not freedom, but fear. Fear that no one will come. Fear that you'll be disappointed. Fear that you'll once again feel unseen. Then your calmness is armor, not choice. Here it's important to honestly ask yourself, do I not celebrate because I don't want to, or because I'm afraid it will hurt? The former is maturity, the latter is a reason to look at yourself with warmth and care, and there's nothing shameful about it. If you recognize yourself in these lines, you are not alone. Many people go through this. Some eventually return to celebrating, some find their quiet rituals, some simply accept that their life isn't measured by the loudness of one day. And here's what matters. Your attitude toward your birthday doesn't define how you feel about yourself. You may not mark the date and still deeply love your life. You may not wait for gifts and still be generous with warmth. You may not gather guests and still feel completely safe. By the way, if this topic resonated with you, you'll likely recognize yourself in our previous video about the psychology of homebodies. Because both there and here, it's about the same thing, the right to live at your own rhythm, without looking at others' expectations. Watch it if you haven't already. And with that, I'll wrap up. Subscribe to keep exploring the psychology of yourself and others.